This session brought to you by Odyssey Games for pre-orders and sealed product, CCG Prime for tons of singles and supplies, Cardo Doko for international rulers looking for product, and fowlibrary.com for articles and wonderful deck lists, as well as our guest lecturer members Vite Ramen, King Pearlshine, and Mognite. Class is in session. Hey there, rulers. Welcome back after a long week of Forceville to your favorite ever live Forceville podcast. It's Office Hours featuring myself, DMO73, and I'm joined as always by Mike Rance. And filling in for Paul Reisman, we have Patrick Ogrins.
Still blue.
Still talking about mermaid cards, so we had to have either Paul or Patrick. It's obligated. Like, they're on contract. It has to be.
We're on contract.
You're on contract. We've contracted.
Oh my god! Stop!
Hey. Before we get started,
this is why we drink. Oh, yep, it's not monetized
This
yet.
is why you drink.
Anyway.
This is why you drink. Cool, yeah.
I'm not drinking. We're monetized.
For the first 2 minutes.
Just want to do a little bit of housekeeping here. If you like what we're doing, you want to consider supporting us, you can click that like, subscribe, and or join button down below. Join is the easiest way to support us financially, and it gets you access to these cool emotes like the ones Robert Green has just posted, as well as a bunch of other cool perks too based on the level. And we really appreciate that. Regardless, though, if you share out the video, kind of be tuning into especially all of our shorts that we've been doing on a day-to-day basis with the spoilers in a minute. That's been
Jeremy's a
really
TikTok god.
I'm doing the TikToks. Let me dab on the.
How do you do, fellow kids?
How do you do, fellow kids? Anyway, so we've been doing that. I do want to also mention that this weekend, if you haven't already signed up, which why haven't you signed up already, is the wonderful Converging Wills event. It is a absolutely amazing event. You can sign up. There's a link in the description to go to their Facebook page that has then a link and all the details to sign up. $45 featuring a bunch of promos just for signing up. And if you represent Ruler School by joining our Discord, you get some bonus stuff, which is nice. They're going to have a ton of cool playmats, top 8 prize cards, Dark Alice promos, all kinds of cool stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be great. We're gonna be playing Wanderer format. I'm gonna be playing in it. Patrick's gonna be playing in it. Mike is not gonna be playing Prego TK in it, but there you go. We can try to maybe convince Mike to play Prego TK this weekend. Let's get it in the chats. To get
if somebody else wants to do it
this weekend.
The steak dinner still stands.
That's
Just
true.
buy yourself a steak dinner and do it yourself.
Hey-o. I do want to say thank you
I wish
for
I could
Paul,
buy myself a
Paul
steak dinner.
Noblock Jr. Welcome to guest lecturer membership. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. We'll be reaching out to you for some of your cool perks. Glad to have you here. Thank you so much for joining at that highest level. We really appreciate it. So yeah, that event's going to be a ton of fun. It's going to be webcam, played over Discord. You absolutely should go check it out. Maybe you can play against some of us this weekend. It's going to be great. And yeah, let's jump into some spoilers, guys. We still got mermaid cards. So for start, and we're also going to go into Blessing, which is already like really looks really nice. So first up we have Einsatz. This is a 1-cost blue music, quick cast with Remnant. You may pay 0 rather than pay this card's cost. If it's the first chant you play each turn. 4C2. Patrick? Thoughts?
I think this card is really nice. I'm really glad they didn't make it draw a card.
Yes, I'm glad it doesn't.
It would be very strong if they made it draw a card. However, it's just a 4C2. It doesn't come back to your hand. So
yeah. And the fact that it has Remnant is really nice.
It's just for first 4 turns on either player's turn. You just get to dig cards if you keep seeing this card.
Yeah, and it's also just melody, right? Like it's just a music. So like it's a really easy way to essentially say that Vier is probably always going to be at melody 1, at least almost all the time. Like it's going to be very easy for her to start, which is nice. This card has insane applications in Wanderer, just in general, like Imul, Shion, any deck that like messes with looking at the top cards of your deck to try to do something. It also has applications for things like Schrodinger decks if you want to play like Infinite Parallel World Schrodinger again. Like that's a neat deck that you can play with this deck. I would play Asuka Infinite World Schrodingers with Einsatz and play a black, blue, green Asuka list. Like I'd be down for that.
That sounds like fun.
It does sound like a lot of fun. Like this card is very Wanderer splashable. But the main
playing a lot of.
Go ahead, but Mike. Yeah.
I'm playing with the hell out of this Imul. Let's go. I'm going to get 3 drops off the top of my deck every turn. Mono white Imul. I don't care. I'll put the blue card in. I don't care.
This is the second card that really saw, like, is actually going to give Imul some, in today's standard level power plays to work with. This and Starfall are both just insane cards to add to Imul. Because, like, with Starfall, you can go play turn 1 Flute, and then you can go on your opponent's turn, make 2 Meteors.
Just keep going.
And then just go to your turn.
Very interesting thing about Einsatz is it's also really good for Highlander style decks. Just having a thing that you can play twice and just force C2, dig through your one-ofs, find that. Which means it's also going to be great in Epic Stories, which I think Epic Stories still exists as a format.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
People still play it, for sure. Yeah, it's actually really still popular, so this is very
cool. I haven't heard the balancing in a long time. So
chuck it in Zeus.
Chuck it in Zeus.
Chuck it in Zeus.
I think that's what's next? We'll chuck it in Zeus too. I don't care.
Yeah. Next up we have Forbidden Malice. This is 1 blue quick cast edition that gains Barrier and Eternal as long as it is a non-token edition. You can tap to put a token copy of this card into the field rested. Play this ability only if the combined instances of Melody of J/rulers you control is 2 or more. And you can tap to banish all cards named Forbidden Malice. Target player draws X cards, where X is the number of cards banished this way to play this card's activation cost. So you can mill your opponent out if you have enough copies of it.
2 turns later, you get to draw 4.
Yeah.
So, very importantly, this card is awful in Zeus, so you cannot.
Correct.
Just
correct.
Put it in
Zeus.
Very bad
in Zeus.
Can't just chuck it in Zeus.
This card's neat. I mean, I'm really glad. I kind of wish that the instances of Melody was 1. Like, if you could only play this ability if your ruler has an instance of Melody instead of 2 or more, right?
I think it'd be way too easy.
Yeah,
that'd be
because each individual Malice then doubles again each turn, rather than having to play 2 cards to get them to double.
Oh, sure, for sure. But then that's only something for Vier, because only Vier has ways to gain Melody, right? So it's like a cool thing for Vier. Like, I would be fine with that. It might make it, like, this might be keeping it from being not too fast to try to mill your opponent out. But I just think Melody 2 it's better than Melody 4 in terms of, like, making this card usable. But it is also a normal, right? So I have to admit that it's probably not going to see a ton of play, but it's neat.
I think it's actually...
Vampire 989, hello.
Also neat because you could use one of your extra Forbidden Malices to play Engineer. And then you can put the ones that you banish back in you put the real one that you banish back in your hand, so you can keep going.
Vampire 989, how is your name red in my chat?
Gray for
Gray in mine.
YouTube, what you doing? It's very strange. Anyway, moving on. I don't really have anything else to say about Forbidden Malice.
Did you skip Dolce, by the way?
We're getting there. Here's Dolce. 1 cost quick cast music, 4C1, then draw a card. If the number of instances of Melody is 4 or more, draw a second card. I mean, this is like the quintessential, like, in my upkeep, I'm gonna do Einsatz 4C2, don't like those cards, cast Dolce, 4C1, draw a card, draw for turn. Now I'm starting my turn at Melody 2. That, to me, cards like this and Einsatz compared together is like how Vier is going to bait out silences, right? Because she's just going to be like, okay, I spent 0 cards, you've used a silence, go to my recovery phase, call stone pass. Like, she'll take her time, right? Without losing hand advantage to deal with silences. But if you do let her go off, like, this is just pretty much 2 free Melody every turn. Patrick, thoughts?
Not really. It's a normal. If it wasn't 4, it would be better. But
I don't care about drawing
it's just an extra.
I just care about triggering Melody again.
It's an extra thing if you need to hit more instances or something. It's just an extra card.
Yeah. Patrick, Or Mike?
I'm Mike, Jeremy.
Yes, you are. I'm sorry.
Anyway, yeah, no thoughts. It's a blue card. That's all I'm gonna say. It feels like a water card.
Yep, feels like a water card.
It really does. Like that's the best I can say about it, honestly.
Next up, we have Paradise Lost. One blue, one colorless music. Quick cast. You may banish an entity you control but not own, rather than pay this card's cost. Search your deck for a water card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, and then shuffle your deck. My one thing that I have to say about this card is this speaks to the spoilers for Vier we've seen overall, but there's gotta be cards we haven't seen that let her steal stuff. Like this card existing when the only thing we've seen of hers that steals something is her contract, and the fact that her edition and this card care about stealing things, just like she's gonna have more steal cards. Like you just haven't seen him yet. That's me.
Was there I think I remember some talk about tokens regarding this card, whether you control / own tokens. If you like own tokens.
Yeah, I don't know what the follow-up conversation.
I don't remember what the follow-up was to it either.
If you don't own a token but control it
busted.
when you make it, this card is insane.
Busted.
Like this card gets insanely good. If I could just be like, oh, I'll just generate tokens and then sack them for free spells, like what? But no, this card's very good. What do you think, Mike?
Named after a really solid album by the band Symphony X from way back in my high school days. Otherwise, that's obviously that's part of my big.
That's what I pay you the big bucks for.
That's what you pay me for.
Yeah. For sure.
Cool stuff.
Yeah, let's go to Mifa. This is Serenade's Agent, another Moo tribe. 1 blue, 1 colorless, 6/6. Enter, look at the top 4 cards of your deck. Music card from among them, put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. Pay blue, spend this will only to play music chants. The fact that, this card's okay. The only reason I would consider playing this card is the fact that she truly has so many musics. Like, they showed off the idea of, like, every card that you have that has music, she would trigger melody, and I was like, well, I hope she has enough. Every one of her cards is music, which is just like, okay, cool, thank you. Like, she can probably play a whole deck where every chant is a music, and so that's kind of viable, right? Overall, this is mediocre as far as rares go.
Mm-hmm. Still, absolutely pisses me off that legacy support potential for Mimi Tribe, even if it doesn't even have that. It's Moo Tribe.
Because it's Moo. I mean,
yeah.
Technically, lore-wise, it makes sense. You're going to hate it, but technically, lore-wise, it makes sense.
No, it does, but it doesn't make it any better. It doesn't make me feel better, Jeremy.
I'm not here to make you feel better. I'm here to talk about Force Will.
I know. It's very unfortunate.
Blue cards make people sad. Patrick, any thoughts?
I feel like this card could have been a 5/5 with quick cast, and it would have actually seen play.
Could have been a 5/5 with quick cast?
Yeah.
Instead of like a 1-drop 5/5 with quick cast?
No, it's a 2-drop.
Or a 2-drop 5/5 with quick cast?
It's 2-drop 5/5 with quick cast that it would actually see play. Like, I don't care if it's a 6/6. If this was a 2-drop with quick cast, it would actually see play. I would sacrifice probably down to like top 3 cards of your deck or 2 cards of your deck.
That's an interesting take. I just need to see more of her, I need to see more of her payoff musics, right? To really get a vibe on this card. Because right now we have a lot of, starter, tune-up music.
It's an engine at the moment.
But not a lot of her payoffs. We just need to see those a little bit better. So that would drastically impact how I change this card, I think.
I just feel like her engine-wise, since Mifa's not quick cast, you have to play her on your turn when you want to be getting more melody instead of actually playing her.
That's why I mean, she has to be like on the board fast. Like you're not gonna want to play this card any later. Like you want to tune her up pretty quick. 1-drop 2/4 with quick cast. I'll accept nothing less. That's fair. I'm still gonna have a full playset of this full art for you, Eris. So it's okay. Next up, we have Sonic Siren, 1-drop quick cast music. Recover a magic stone you control. If the combined number of instances of melody that J rulers you control is 4 or more, put the top 4 cards of your opponent's deck into the graveyard. This is that same kind of thing, right? Where it's like very clearly a thing to help you cycle into high music very quickly, or high melody very quickly, which is nice.
It's like a cheaper rewriting laws, I guess.
Yeah, kind of.
Just it doesn't draw you a card. You use a card in your hand to go up a melody stack.
Let's see. Now we have the card that I actually like for her. Oh no, there's 2. One more, and then the card that I actually like from her. Ooh. So this is Constriction of Rain, 1 cost quick cast music. J/Resonators your opponent controls gain -1000 attack until end of turn. If you've combined 4 or more melody, J rulers you control have -1000 until end of turn instead. This is a card that really made me wish that the melody thresholds were more diverse. Like I would have loved to have seen cards that were like 2 melody and then 3 melody and then 4 melody,
ladder up,
to like really like build into each other very nicely. But it's like these 2, 4, 2, 4. So the third one always feels weird, and it's just like, That's my thoughts. Mike?
I agree with those thoughts. Honestly, yeah, I don't like the thresholds either. I feel like it could have been so much more interesting the way that they designed the melody thresholds, but like a quick cast -1000 for 1 water is not terrible.
I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. Like this card is like, if you can get to 4, this card's insane.
Yeah, it's just like, it's just not great.
I do would like I feel like this card could have been one of the ones that like you could have done. J rulers gain -1000 attack. At melody 3, they gain -1000 -500. At melody 4, they gain -1000 -1000. Right, like you build it up, right, crescendo it.
Wow, just staying with the music theme, crazy. Thanks, Jeremy.
Yeah, that's her whole gimmick. So
I know. Might as well play into it, right?
Right. It just feels like a missed opportunity. 4 instances melody, partially because she's Vier number 4, and because 4/4 is the most common time signature. I mean, you're probably not wrong.
Yeah. Eric, stop being a musician. God.
Let's talk about the card that actually has me very excited, not only for Vier, but for a lot of other cards too, as a cool little anti-card. This is Dissonance of Rain. 1 blue quick cast music. Choose 1. If the combined is 4 or more, you may choose up to 3 instead. Choose a number. Your opponent cannot play resonators with total spell cost equal to the chosen number until end of turn. Choose a number. Your opponent cannot play non-resonator spells with the total cost equal to the chosen number until end of turn. Or target water chant in your graveyard games remnant until your end of turn. This card is great. Like, not only for her, but as a sideboard card for, like, anyone ever.
You just choose 1. Right? You can splash blue and just be like, I know your deck is 1-drops. Yeah. I hope they're quick cast.
But also, like, Asuka. Honestly, this probably is the nail in the coffin for Asuka. Because now I don't even have to care about your graveyard. Or try to silence you. I can just go, oh, in response to your contract, I'll call this and say 1-drops. So you can't cast any 1-drop resonators in your graveyard.
Yeah, it just forces them to do something else, I guess.
Yeah, it's going to force some change in deck building by existing because of how splashable this card is outside of the air.
Just like Cracks of Time, except Cracks of Time is probably better.
Oh, so
arguably.
Now, okay, so people, what is going on with my? I'm really just this is just a behind the scenes thing. So for a very long time, my system has only given color to people who are members. But now, Vampire 989's in red for me. King Pearl Shine, who used to be a member but is no longer, is blue to me, as is Vizuri Gaucho. And I don't think Vizuri Gaucho's ever be a member. Correct me if I'm wrong, Todd, but I don't think you have been. So like, what's going on with YouTube? Anyway, I do have that new Dr. Pepper, strawberries and cream. It's honestly delicious. Anyway.
Berries and cream.
Mike, I'm very curious to hear your thoughts on this kind of floodgatey kind of blue card.
Honestly, I've seen floodgatey blue cards try and make their way into the metagame. I just don't think that this is strong enough to compete with some other silent style effects that we've had. I feel like you have to jump through too many hoops, and I don't see the win condition that turning somebody off for a turn gives her. If we see some strong options for her to like close out the game, then maybe. But I'm just like, I look at this card. I'm just like, literally, payoffs. I'm just looking at this card and I'm just like, wow, that's cool. You can choose effects. What does that do for me? I don't know, man. It's there though. So
I have to call you out a bit. Her name's pronounced Vier with fear, like fear, but with a softer R, one syllable. Vi. Is that it? Fear or fee? 4. I'm gonna just call her 4. 4. I have bad pronunciation. Funf. I'm very excited for Funf. Roderick is orange, by the way. If you're wondering what colors are in my channel, Roderick is orange.
Oh my god, why? Why is it by different colors?
Just all become members, so that might even
honestly,
$2 a month members, so you can all be green in my channel.
I'm a $2 a month member.
You are a $2 a month member. I appreciate it.
And I'm on the channel.
Lastly, we have what is truly the best card from her spoiler season, except for the Marvel Rare, but we'll talk about that. This is Magic Stone of Rain. 1 cost blue, moon protection. Tap, produce blue. Spend this will to play a water chant. It can't be canceled.
And then you use it to play
what?
setting the stage. And then you're like, what you gotta do?
Yeah. Yeah, this card is great. We have enough stuff in the format that's like canceling without cancels that I'm not just like, oh gosh, this is the end of the world. But this is still very nice. Like, it is a very nice card. Keep in mind though that it will always be blue will. You can't like tap it to produce green will instead with a filter and then use that green and make it uncancelable. Like, you have to use the blue from that ability.
I love how Force of Will's answer to blue being a worse green is literally just give blue thing that can't be canceled by green.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, that's my favorite thing.
Yeah, for sure. This card's very, very good. Next up we have, I'm saving the Marvel Rare for last because we have a lot of conversation to have about her, but this is Excavation of a Legacy. 1 blue, 1 red, quick cast chant. Name a card, reveal the top card of your deck until you reveal the named card. Put that card into your hand and remove the rest from the game.
This card is
cool card for T2. This is a very cool like accelerator for T2. I like it a lot for T2 in that regard.
You just play it in Deus Ex and you just win the game.
Or you try to play it in Deus Ex to T-Tor combo, but then you cry because you haven't ordered T-Tor and can't protect it, and so the game's over.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, immediately everyone was like, let's go with T-Tor, let's go with T-Tor, let's go with T-Tor. And I'm like, hey, it's neat. It's a neat idea for the T-Tor combo. I don't think it's good.
It's crazy that they finally made a red-blue card that isn't bad. Like, I feel like that's just such a crazy new Age Force will for you.
That's not Magic of Trust and Love.
That doesn't count.
Was very good.
That literally doesn't count as a red-blue card, though.
Happy part?
That's even less. Let's be very real.
That was a red or blue card. That wasn't a red-blue
card. That was a red card. Nobody played Shayla, and everyone just played it to make their Aggro Keurig deck better.
Don't let Paul hear you say that. Anyway, oh no, I replaced the background with the new spoiler.
Oh no.
Oh
I clicked on the
no.
wrong spot. No, hold on. Okay, there we go. Sorry. Man, we're having a rough go of it tonight.
I know. Everybody in the
YouTube's
chat
acting
throwing.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I know
we
it's
have,
legit. It's just not a red blue card.
This is
Roderick. Oh my god, I'm
this is
losing my mind.
Little Maria, 1 cost 4/4, Machine Legacy, Quick Cast Mythic, which means you can own, like, if as soon as the second one enters the field, you get a trigger to sack one of them. Enter, name a card. This card gains Legacy Boost. While you are searching for your deck, you may play a card that shares a name with a named card from your deck. For each search, you may only perform the effect of 1 Legacy Boost as long as it is in the field. Whenever you search your deck, put 2 +1/+1 counters on this card. Mike, the sheer reaction you had when I was reading this card makes me go, Mike needs to talk about this card first. Go for it.
Why more things? Why more keywords? But also, like, this is so cool, but also, like, original V3 Alice rolling in its grave right now. Come on.
You can make anything Alice. Even Alice.
Oh, you can make Alice Alice.
You can make Zeus Alice.
It is cool that we finally get a fucking resonator with Mythic, man. I was so, like, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure this is the only one I've seen before.
Correct. Regalia are the only thing we've ever had with Mythic.
That's so cool. I love that. I hope we get more of that. I feel like this card is just kind of sick.
Yep.
That's my 2 cents. That's my takeaway. This card is lit.
Yeah, this
as
card
the
is
kids
really
say.
cool. Patrick doesn't like this card.
I'm just mad.
He's mad at it.
I'm mad that Vier didn't get a tooled MR. I'm mad that, like, the MRs in this set aren't tooled specifically for their ruler when old sets were. But that's just me being very salty because I wanted to play this ruler really bad.
I mean, you're still going to. Don't get
I'm
me
still
wrong.
going to have a deck for it.
Like,
I feel like this is a weird investment, honestly, because you have to pay to play it, protect it, and then you still have to pay for the card that you search. So it's a little weird, unless you do like what like you call Birth of the Twin Princes or a mastery spell, and you're searching your deck and you can just 4C afterwards.
Yeah. So for me, this card feels like very similarly to how, like, it's another take 2 on a card design idea, but, like, executed, like, they learned from the first time, and so now we're trying it again and we're doing it properly. This is just, like, better designed, more fair, harder to use Warhorse. Right? Which in me, but, like, to me, that's, I honestly am glad they tried again, because, like, the idea of Warhorse was pretty cool. I liked the notion of what Warhorse was. It was just executed poorly in a way that was, like, way too abusable and way too easy to utilize, right? Patrick, kind of like what you said, this card has 2 safe, like, modes of application, right? Which is playing it proactively and really thinking about what card you're going to need
And telegraphing it,
right? Which, and then protecting it, right? That's the way to use it. Or trying to find the time to open yourself up to quick casting it in the moment to turn it into a tech card, right?
But then you'd still have to search your deck again, which is like double searching your deck.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, it's not, this is a card that is going to reward skilled players, hands down. But even beyond that, it's not going to be very easy out the gate or even at all for skilled players to utilize. Like, it is very cool. Casually, this card is going to be a blast for like the people who aren't trying to play hyper competitive, just want to play fun stuff, have really cool ideas. Their community isn't super like hardcore, right? This is a cool card to breathe life into a bunch of old Wanderer decks at the casual level. Like, there's a lot of cool
Some
stuff
epic
that can be done with
stories.
it. Epic stories, and people are already saying in Zeus, and I get that, I understand, but like it's but it's also so well designed that it's not just, oh, this is what I'm always going to do with this card, it's always going to be successful, I don't have to work to get it to happen. Like, I really like how this card was like had guardrails put on it, in a way that still makes it, that doesn't make it unplayable, but doesn't make it like just far and beyond the best thing to play. From what I've seen so far of the spoilers for the set, it feels like we might have tuned down the set, but we are adventuring into new avenues for the future of the game. Warhorse is like what it's like starting a Mario case with the golden mushroom. Yeah, for sure. This card's going to go ham in Wolfgang 2 or any other deck that abuses searches. Yeah, I mean, that's fair, right? It's a cool way to bring back Wolfgang 1, Bahamut, like any deck that searches when it flips, right? Like Dark Alice in Ma'at, or sorry, Dark Alice, like the Regalia ruler, right? Because she searches and gets a fairy tale, so that you could grab something else with this card. There's just lots of cool application for it.
I actually thought of a random deck that might actually be able to use this card.
Sure.
It's Heroes. Because Schrodinger's Call.
Oh, that's neat. That is neat.
And because of Lenneth searching.
I don't really think we need it, but
I think it's neat.
Something. It is neat. But again, you still have to pay the will for it, right?
Yeah.
So, it's just
so you probably just call like Schrodinger himself or something. But
you can loop with Chant, Reduction, Charlotte, and 69.
Nice.
Yeah, if you make them free, you just loop the chance because you put them back in the deck.
But that's only if you're playing both retirements. Yeah, it's neat. Yeah, this card's very cool. I really like it. It's gonna look beautiful full art. It's probably like top 5 cards in terms of like visuals. Did I forget to download the spoilers for today? Gosh dang it, game. So let's go into Darkness cards. We have Deathwing Funf, the Dark Feather. His mechanic is Blessing. Pay 0. Target entity gains Blessing until end of the game. They can control multiple instances of Blessing. Play this ability only during your turn and only once per turn. We're quickly going to jump past the ruler because there's not much to say there. His ruler is partner is Child of Death. Curse is God's Art Cursed Blessing. Put the top 2 cards of your deck into the graveyard. Then put a Resonator from your graveyard into your hand. Does not target. This is important. Honestly, yeah. So yeah, neat card. Age of Death. 1 black addition. J/Resonator to your opponent control. Gain -2/2 for each instance of a blessing this card has. Enter your opponent discards a card.
Neat.
Thoughts?
The German word for the Funf in German is
5.
It's 5. So I'm going to call this deck, and anyone who plays it, Mambo number 5 from now on.
That's it. That's the God's Art.
That's it.
The God's Art is not very intensive. I need to step away from the screen for just a minute.
How dare you?
I'm going to mute myself while you guys talk about the idea of blessing for like 2 seconds. Or whatever you guys want to talk about force will-wise. So I'll be right back.
I mean, blessing is a neat mechanic, but it's just like once per turn. And it's only on your turn, so you're only going to get probably maybe 5 instances off in the game if you're only playing the ruler.
Yeah, it's fine.
And with the Sprout that we saw earlier, it's like, all right, in response to you targeting Sprout, kill it.
Bless up. Yeah, I don't know. These spoilers right here just kind of have me meh about blessing. Obviously,
Yeah,
we know that there's
I
more
know
coming down the pipeline. Obviously,
it's the age-old adage of dies to removal.
what? No. How dare you say anything about dying to removal? God, wow, ooh, ah.
It's just this deck needs build up, and I just don't see how it's building up so far.
Yeah, I really don't either. Like
this
I mean,
wants to go to like turn 9. Like this
yeah,
deck wants to go long, but
see,
it's in mono black.
See, I think the big thing. So you're saying mono black, but if you splash something else in, I feel like Age of Death is not a good card. I'm going to point that out. But I know with another card coming up that we're going to be spoiling in a second, I think that we see a little bit of something coming on.
I wish one of the cards we got today didn't cost 3.
I'm glad one of the cards we got today costs 2.
Yeah, that's fair. All the cards that say that cost 2.
Yeah.
All 3 of them.
That's true. We have so many of those.
I think if you're spending blessing procs on Age of Death, you're doing something. You're not building something else on the board.
Yeah. That's the big takeaway. Like it just feels like a card that's just kind of like there. Like, oh, I'm playing this deck. Might as well play one of Age of Death. Ugh.
Also, you could target your stones with it, and there's a card coming up later that actually has that be relevant, I believe.
Yeah.
Hi.
Look. Hi.
My big takeaway from this card is that Funf is going to be a very heavy like stun, like
yeah, it's going to like turn 9.
Reduce your options kind of deck. Like it's trying to drain you to death. Like it's going to sap you out. That's his whole idea.
Big suck.
Man, I assumed. Well, Kildare, hello. I haven't seen you before. Welcome. I assumed the Musketeer was going to be the Darkness ruler. Do we know what she is? She's the Fire ruler. Pretty clearly. So she's probably going to be War.
Yeah. If that's the last one.
Yeah. Okay, so next up we have his contracts. This is Summon the Dragon of Death. 1 black, non-quick cast. 1 black, destroy J resonators with blessing your opponent controls. If you control 3 or more magic stones, you may contract this card with Deathwing and has Mastery Deathwing. I already do not look forward to playing Deathwing mirrors. Because
just
blessing is because it's anything your opponent controls that has blessing, which means if they're giving their own stuff blessing, you can just be like, cool, kill it all. Right?
And it's mastery with your ruler.
And it's mastery with your ruler, and I'm glad it's not quick cast. That being said, like, it's very strange that we already off the cuff have things that we've seen from the exclusive spoiler that we were given for Force of Will, which I will show again really quick here on screen, with Sprout. Like, we have blessing cards that you want to, and with Age of Death, right? You have cards on your side of the field that you want to have gain blessing, but then you also want to be giving blessing to your opponent's stuff to get value off of cards like this. It's gonna be really interesting to see exactly how he like splits his focus. But he has some other resources that we'll see in a little bit that kind of help him a little bit there. Contract side is Unknown Mother Goose Chrono Gear, which is just the best looking one.
It reminds me of I think it's Final Fantasy X's Bahamut.
Yeah, it's got that vibe. I just insert Pacha meme, right? Like, like the artwork on this just gets me for sure. Chrono Gear, no flying, 7/7 Bane. You cannot lose the game due to your life being 0 or less as long as this card has Blessing. This card gains +4/+4 for each instance of Blessing it gains. Pay 0, target entity gains Blessing until end of turn. Play this ability only during your turn and only up to twice per turn. At the end of, as this card leaves the field, if your life is 0 or less, your life becomes 1,000. Mike?
It's Belial at home.
It is a little bit of a Belial at home.
just tell me it's not. Like, come on.
Yeah,
A little bit.
I feel like this card's very mid, in my opinion.
I don't think the fact your life being anything about the life being 0 or less is the thing to focus on with this card at all.
It's not, but the rest of it's also very mediocre.
2 blessings. So here's the thing. If you give blessing on the turn you flip, and then you flip this, you get 3 blessings in a single turn, which is potentially a lot of value generated off of some stuff. It really comes down to just like how, like, what else are we putting blessing on that we need to see, and we just haven't seen that yet with him, right? But like, this is just very cool. Someone was like, oh, we need to combo ban it with Inferno immediately, and I was like, no.
That's like the opposite of what you're gonna do here.
Yeah. Eris is in the chat saying another Inferno combo deck, let's go, despite the fact that Inferno combo deck has not been a thing for quite a bit. And we know Rustin will play it. Yes, for sure. We do know that Rustin will try.
I feel like the vibe I'm getting from playing this, the contract for Mother Goose, is that I want to be flipping often so that I get 3 stacks per turn. So, like, I'm even, like, the back of my head is considering, like, absorbing knowledge in it or something to just, like, kill my own Mother Goose at some point, draw 2 cards, contract again on my next turn, blow up the things that I put blessing on, continue play.
Yeah, for sure. One thing to note, just a couple things, is instances of blessing will not transfer from this side back to the ruler, because they're separate things,
separate cards.
Secondly, cannot put blessing on a ruler because a ruler is not an entity. Thirdly, Rogue Spectator will stop you from going back up to 1,000 life. Because in the Force at Will CR, any form of life change in any way that is going upwards is considered gaining life. So Rogue Spectator says neither player can gain life until end of turn. Just something to make note of, people.
Why are you crushing dreams, Jeremy?
Good.
Because I had people messaging me about this, and I was like, Rogue Spectator. And they went, what?
Like, what's that card?
Because they just didn't know that's how it worked.
Our 2-drop Red Mountain from Alice Cluster that I don't remember still.
Also good stuff. Yes. Or freaking addition from Wolfgang, the Demonic World.
Yeah. Burning Lake or something. No. Is it Burning Lake? Or something like that?
Next up, we have the spoilers from today. This is 1 black Assistant of the Dark Feather, 1 black Human. This card gains +200 defense for each Sun Protection ruler or entity you control, because it is a 4/0, so that's important. Tap, target entity gains Blessing until end of game. Do you want to know why they gave it 0 defense? So that you can't try to shove this card to do blessing stuff outside of Funf.
Outside of this set.
That would have been so cool, though.
It also means that this card is potentially... Well, no, you'll have a Sun Protection entity because you'll at least have 1 when you play it in Sealed. Also, in before Blessing best mechanic in Sealed because you can actually play the mechanic.
True. You can also actually play it outside of this set if you're playing Sun Protection Stones.
That's true. That's true. It's just not very easy. Like
it's not easy. No, you're not playing it, but you can.
Yeah. This, I mean, it feels to me like a card like this has to exist for Blessing to even be considered playable, right? Having the option of flexibility of being able to do Blessing during your opponent's turn in any way is probably going to be something that Funf requires on. So I'm glad they gave him something. And I'm glad it doesn't have Barrier.
And I'm glad it doesn't have Quick Cast.
Correct. Mike, any thoughts?
No. It's
great.
It's a normal. That's it.
Yep, it's a normal. Sometimes the normals are just normal.
It's an Acolyte of the Sun, except not.
Next up, we have Laboratory of Blessing. 3 black edition. Discard a card. Your opponent discards a card. Banish a Resonator. Your opponent banishes a Resonator. Banish an addition. Your opponent banishes an addition. This is Inferno on a 3-drop edition.
And it's okay.
If it didn't cost 3, it would be much better, but this is normal, so, I mean, it costs 3.
It's neat. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like, trying to... The idea for those people who've lost Electo, Eris, playing some kind of, like, null deck with Laboratory of Blessing is pretty neat. Like, the idea of being able to build that deck is pretty neat. Ryan is convinced he is going to break this edition. He also is the man that he is convinced that he's going to break Civil War, a card that I genuinely believe is mid at best. So we'll see. We'll see what King Pearlshine has to say about it. So here's the deal, Ryan. Rejoin as a guest lecturer. Your first video on the channel could be building a deck with this, playing it against me, and proving me wrong, because I think this card is neat, but I don't think it's insane.
Jeremy literally just said, prove me wrong. Love it. Anyway.
Yep. Electo already approved the viability of trading your hands. Just give me back. You want to know why I'm okay with this card existing over Electo? Is because this isn't a body with stats.
Fair. Oh, I could discard Charlotte's Protector and go +1.
It's true. Hence why we did with Electo. Yeah. Yeah, that did not take long.
I might have to renege that. Man.
Civil War comment. That did not take long, Ryan. And then our last comment, our last spoiler is Thought Conversion. 2-cost quick cast chant. Your opponent discards 2 cards. If this card was played with will produced by an entity with blessing, your opponent reveals their hand, then you choose 2 cards from among them, and your opponent removes them from the game instead. It doesn't have to be fully paid with will from entities with blessing, just has to be some of it has to be made from wills with entities with blessing. There's the Sprout. It's a Sprout card.
God.
This card is neat. I like this card a lot.
It's Lapis Darkstorm, all right.
It's just slightly better, but also slightly worse Lapis Darkstorm. Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, is that all you
good.
have?
It's just good. Like, that card's good.
It's a 2-drop discard too.
That's it.
We've had it.
Yeah.
Like,
here we are. We made it. We did a Reddit. we got the good
one
card.
that's slightly different.
Don't hold your breath, but I'm definitely gonna try for Civil War. That is, the edition is totally free. I don't understand. Like, the card costs 3.
That's what I'm saying. Card costs 3.
So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna see that you're playing that card. I'm gonna go Campanella, Oblivion Moon, call the Laboratory of Blessing, and then you're gonna cry. And then we're gonna move on with our lives.
You don't have to do
it's
that.
Gonna be great.
The only thing you have to say is, what's wrong with you? And then they just scoop. As they should.
Sprout or throw Blessing onto one of your stones. Oh, that's interesting. That's true. It is an entity.
I brought that up a little earlier, but you were
I
AFK.
missed that one. Yeah, that's
because
neat.
they're an entity. You just Oop.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I do like that. That makes this card a lot better in my mind.
It's like the
fact that you
old
can just, like,
Oberazuki
turn
putting
one-
+1/+1s on your stones.
Like just turn one, put a blessing entity, blessing onto your stone, and be like, yeah, okay, that's a blessing with an entity with blessing. That's very cool. I like that a lot. That's very relevant. I didn't think about that. Good point.
Hear me out. We unbanned Carlina. How about no?
We unban Carlina and we play it in Carlina, so that Carlina can play that as her first card for the game, and then we just equalize the hands, and then Carlina can play one
She
card per
can't
turn.
make it uncounterable because it costs 3.
She can't make it uncounterable. That is.
Please no. I choose life.
So you say, see, you say that, but you know better, Ryan. Ryan, how long have we been friends? How long have we been friends?
Apparently not long enough. The guy's still making hot takes.
These are some hot takes. I'm here for it, though. I like hot takes. I also know that Ryan just loves to give me crap in the chat, which is totally fine.
I mean, that's what he does.
You know, in fact, I'm gonna reward Ryan for giving me crap in the chat.
Wow, look at this guy.
I'm gonna go ahead and give King Pearlshine mod status.
Damn.
Wow, look at this guy.
Look at you. I've granted you mod status as a reward for always trying to give me heck in the chat.
Guy's definitely giving him heck.
Someone tell me which card is Civil War. It's the 4-drop that destroys all the special magic stones on both sides of the field.
The one with Messiah, Raging Messiah.
Yeah, we don't know what Raging Messiah is yet.
It's probably a super, but
Rebirth of Legend Pandora to gives a second blessing.
It's not a what?
The Grim. You could reuse the ability of a ruler you've already used. Yeah, with Grim and Pandora. Technically, yes, you could.
Technically, on that turn that you have played them.
Technically, you could do a lot of things.
It's an enter effect.
Technically, you can prego TK someone.
You absolutely can, but nobody will because everybody's chicken shit.
Then do it. Do it yourself.
No, I don't want to do it myself. I want somebody else to do it.
There's a tournament this weekend.
I'm lazy though.
Then you
there it is,
don't
folks.
get to complain.
There it is, folks.
It's true. I don't get to complain about that. The truth comes out.
Does Mike Rance is lazy?
Some study has shown. What's wrong?
Yeah,
these
are some cool cards. I mean, overall, like, I think the biggest takeaways from tonight is that we, even just with the cards we've seen, we have a pretty good idea of what Funf's game plan is, which is just like strangle your opponent to death with like limited card options, constantly forcing them to discard, and like make them play to the late game kind of thing. Like it kind of this idea of like choke them out and then force them to have an answer when I've got a flipped guy so they can't ever kill me, right? Like that just feels like what Funf's trying to do. And Vier, Fear. 4 is just try like we just need to see more of her game plan.
Okay, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Guys, if anybody's ever wanted to see what fucking giving up looks like, listen to Jeremy's pronunciation.
Clip that sequence and be like, DMO73 gives up. Like, there you go.
That's it.
Why do you think I did? Yeah, there you go. There's my giving up.
Oh my god. I give up.
I mean, this set, having now seen 4 of the 5 rulers, truly feels like that ADW vibe for me of last cluster, or of 2 clusters ago, where it's like it's a pretty cool standalone set that has a lot of cool cards. The rulers themselves, minus a couple, minus 1, feel really flushed out. Brad, from ADW. And then you can just like pick up a box of this set, build a couple really fun decks, and feel great about it. Or you can just pick up this set and have some really cool cards to be able to splash into other decks because they're pretty, applicable, right? And I like that. I like closing out a cluster on a set that feels not only like it introduced new stuff, but had enough generic stuff that keeps me in the like, oh, I can go back and look at other stuff again, right? I like closing out a cluster in that way, in a good way, right? Because we've had sets that are like that, but the set itself is so trash that it's just like not worth looking at.
Yeah.
But like this feels like it's a nice like closer to a cluster, which I really enjoy.
Agreed.
Where are the German Fab Discord members? They need to hear this. They know I suck at pronouncing cards in their language.
Just cut off.
Yes.
We didn't need that extra sentence.
Jeremy just said, yes, Fanf.
I got Funf correct. Thank you very much. It's just 4 that I can't pronounce.
Yes.
Yes, Roger, we're very excited to see you on Saturday. Again, keep that in mind that if you are I'll put the details up again here on screen really fast for the Converging Wills event. If you do go over and let us know in the Ruler School server, join the Ruler School server and let us know that you're playing in the event this Saturday and that you want to represent Ruler School as the posse of people from our server. They are giving like additional bonus stuff into the prize pool.
Come join the Insane Clown posse.
Some things that they've already shown off that they have is that they've got a ruler collection, a 10th anniversary ruler collection. They've also got the world's apology gift, which is the awakening spells.
We're sorry.
Awakening spells.
Sorry.
They got a set of those that they are tossing into the random raffles. I don't know if it's like one at a time, but like they have those available. There's a lot of really cool stuff there. So go check out our server, get joined in there, and let us know if you're playing, and then we will tell them that you are representing Ruler School if you would like to. So I'd really like to see like all 8 of the top 8 players be Ruler School reps. I think that would be really cool. And that is an international Discord tournament over webcam. So yeah. Any other last thoughts, guys? Kind of just like a good night of cards.
Yeah,
nothing too crazy, nothing too bad.
The cards were okay.
Above average.
I'd say pretty decent.
They're useful.
It's a 7 out of 10 week of spoilers.
That's high praise.
I'll take it. Not every week can be insane.
That's fine.
Last week we had a bunch. Like we went an hour and a half last week, so it's not surprising.
And then when do we get Musketeers starting?
That would be, let's see.
So this was on the 4th, and we get 6
I
days?
Of order with the attributes.
So we definitely get Musketeers next.
Would that start on Saturday?
One day. So let's see. 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 day, 6 days. Right? Yeah, 6 days per color. And we're on day 3. So we should be getting Musketeer stuff on Friday. So that'll be very interesting. So we'll jump into that. Yeah, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, missing 7, 8, and 9. And so we don't know who red is going to be, whether it should be 7 or 8. Yeah, so that's pretty kind of cool that we kind of have the full package of those. As always,
what animal is it going to be?
More importantly, which Chrono Gear is it going to be? Which
Claw
regalia is it going to be? You think it's going to be Claw?
I think it's going to be Claw.
I forget what the name of Claw is. Isn't it just Claw of the Sacred Beast?
Yeah. Claw Chrono Gear.
Claw of the Sacred Beast Chrono Gear?
No.
What a mouthful.
No, it's not going to be Horn. It's not going to be Horn or Claw. What else is left? It's like Caduceus.
It'd have to be Caduceus.
It's Caduceus, probably.
It's probably Caduceus, especially since it's also probably red-white in the sense of like the Messiah connection, like with the rebellion and stuff. Because current common theory is that the red ruler is also going to be like part of the rebellion, like the one who betrayed the Gears. So there's that. So that would make sense that it would be Caduceus as well. Very interesting. Well, also it's seeing 8 more Sacred Knights. Let's see. We've seen Raymond, the Sealed One-Eyed Dragon, Windia, and our Flower Boy or Postal Boy,
Deadman.
Yeah, so we've seen 8 of the 12 Sacred Knights.
I'm sorry.
and we've got this set to go. So we're gonna get, 8 of the 12. Sorry, apologies. 8 of the 13 12 Sacred Nights.
That's a lot of Sacred Nights.
Because the best of 12 Sacred Nights is Alice. Yes, we have Leviathan Chrono Gear. That was Leviathan Chrono Gear is Flight of the Demon Sword.
Yeah. It was Dexia.
Yeah. Ooh, Ifrit Glass. That would be an interesting one. I could see it being Ifrit Glass. That is interesting. Because red, right? I could see it being Ifrit Glass. That would be neat. Yeah. Okay. So that's going to do it for us for tonight. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, if you want to consider supporting us, you can click that join button down below as our new member, Darren Noblock. Or you changed your name on YouTube. It says you're Darren Noblock now, but you joined as Paul Noblock Jr. So thank you so much for being here. We will reach out to you. There's instructions when you join to reach out to us and via our thing. Our email address, so be sure to check that out if you're still here, Darren. Otherwise, we'll reach out to us soon so we can get that stuff figured out for you. Thank you all so much for joining us, and until next time, this has been myself, DMO73, and I've been joined as always by my grants.
Again.
And Patrick Ogrins.
Good luck this weekend, everybody.
Yeah, see you all then. Until then, though, class dismissed.
Bye, everyone.